Hello, everybody. Welcome to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Sorry about for the inconvenience here. We're having some issues with server side stuff with our software and weather. Definitely not helping out right now as we're 3 laps into the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series season opener here at Daytona. Their 500K race is going to be amazing to watch here as we got at the moment Johnny Jones, who started from the pole position, leading the way with the help of that 29 Logan Breeke directly behind with Evan Coleman working the top lane in that 51 machine. He's got Josh Coley pushing him there in that top lane as we're seeing some great racing here early. Some few guys back here in this pack, about 21st back on back of these guys are starting to drop back a little bit. I think some guys are trying to save their stuff at the moment and stay alive here at the Daytona International Speedway. As we can see, this place can be very treacherous. We had an amazing clash race here with the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series, and it's been a pleasure so far here. As like we said, sorry for the inconvenience here. We're a little bit late. Definitely some weather issues going up north, and definitely not seeing the results of what we're going to get here working. So thank you for everybody here for tuning in, as always, here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But we are back, and at the moment, we got a heck of a race going on here with Johnny Jones leading the way in this number 18 machine. Looks like the packs are starting to move around, use the outer lane, start to use up what they got. But man, I tell you what, it should be a special race here. This league is going to put on a heck of a show as we got 36 cars here tonight taking part in this Daytona opener here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. So it should be a blast to see who can come out of these 36 drivers to pull off a win here, because it's definitely not going to be easy. And we also got to remember last season's winner was Robert Kinney in the 34. At the moment, looks like Robert Kinney at the moment do not believe he is here. If I can find the 34, I'm trying to go through this huge list of cars here, and I don't believe I see the 34. Actually, I do. He is running in the 5th position. Sorry about that. I completely skipped over him there. He started in 17th, so last year's winner of Robert Kinney in that 34 already putting himself up in a pretty good position from the 17th to the 5th position. So he definitely didn't drop back, and he is coming to the front here at the moment. You also got Eric Stamp, who was the season 1 winner at Daytona. So he also is the original winner here for the Daytona opener, and he was in the 11th position right now, starting at 15th in that 53 machine. So he's doing a fantastic job to move up a couple positions here to move him closer to that front. But we could see a repeat winner here at Daytona, possibly out of these 36 drivers. But it's going to be very tough right now as Evan Coleman working the outside lane in the 51, trying to make the pass around the outside here with Johnny Jones in the 18 working that bottom lane. It's been a heck of a battle so far between this top and bottom lane here to start off this event for its first 7 laps. It looks like from the 15th position back on here, we got the 13th of, or actually, sorry about that. It looks like the 28 of Austin Jordan is the first part of this pack here of the front 12 pack of kind of broke away, and then it's kind of single file from 13th on back to the rest of this field. So some different strategies being put out. Some guys playing it safer because we got 125 laps, no fast repairs, and you also have the incident count of every 28 or 20 incidents is a penalty. So that's a drive-through penalty, and at their 28, you're DQ'd. So you cannot get over that 28 mark here for 125 laps, or you will be out of this race. As they cross start finish line again here, we got the 33 of Josh Coley leading the way here on lap number 7. As it looks like the rest of the field's starting to close back in here, and we could see a few of these guys that were running single file back here maybe make a move to get themselves in position to get racing with this pack here as they go through 1 and 2 with Josh Coley leading the way, Evan Coleman up top in the 51.
That is correct. Thank you, Zach, for filling in where I got everything rolling here for everybody here with Adrenaline iRacing League. Thank you, everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube for tuning in. I do want to apologize. Like you said, I'm going to echo it, and it's the last time you're going to hear me say anything about it. I do apologize for the late start. It was server loading very slow for the storm, I believe, with the snow. But we're at Daytona, so there ain't no snow on the ground down here, Zach. All we see is 200-mile-per-hour racing going on right now, man.
Yes, definitely do see some great racing so far. Fast speeds being put down already between these drivers. But I tell you what, that front pack right now racing really hard to 18 pole setter there, Johnny Jones. Ooh, man, the front starting man there had a big moment coming off of two there. He got very wiggly loose, and we seen in the clash race that that bottom lane could be pretty sketchy from what we've seen there. So this is something we're gonna have to watch as this race plays on to see if someone has trouble down that bottom lane. We've heard it was 3 and 4 last week here, and we'll have to see if that bottom lane becomes a problem again because that was down in 1 and 2, and the 18 had a huge run down. That could have been night over for him very quickly.
Yes, it could have. And do you think we're going to see that problem down there, Zach, tonight? Or do you think it's a little... Track looks more racier tonight, though, than we've seen last week in the duels. Or the clash, I mean.
I would expect similar stuff. I mean, the weather is constant here with the dynamic sky, so we're not going to see no changes in the. Oh, no, the 51 Evan Coleman goes around the 33 Josh Coley involved. The big one happened here on lap 10 here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series,
and there's more
still
cars piling in.
Oh no, multiple cars hurt in this wreck. The 33 of Josh Coley taking a huge brunt of that effect, but it all started up front there with the 51 of Evan Coleman, and I believe I'm trying to figure out exactly what car directly that was behind him. I believe that was Tanner Johnston in the 23 there, getting into the rear bumper of that 51 of Evan Coleman, sending him around, and really the first 4 cars got through that, but then from there on back, it was pretty much a blocked track, as they would say,
Oh,
and
yeah.
a lot of damage.
Look at this as to get something up there for Zach. So, but yeah, there you go, Zach. When you get that up there, you can see, yeah, there was nowhere for anybody to go. It was just a big parking lot in front of turn number. What turn we in here, man? See, we got cars still piling up. I don't even know what turn we're in. Turn 3. Holy mackerel!
Yeah, that was that one was unfortunate for a lot of guys that are getting caught up in that. So, man, that's unfortunate. Right now, it's going to be Robert F. Kinney there leading the field here in that 34 machine, last season's winner. So, very, very cool to see. And I believe also that, yeah, he was last season's winner, but I believe also a lot of guys, they're really hurt from that wreck. And I don't think a lot of people were going to be able to actually continue on after that wreck with some of the damage I've seen from that incident. Looks like guys hitting pit road here on lap 12 too, maybe to put some fuel in those race cars. As it looks like Joshua Chadwick Williams here will stay out here, lead a lap, and it looks like I believe Alex Walter will also stay out here, and he was about 13th position before that, so he'll move himself on up here, and we'll have 2 cars stay out here. As right now, we are pacing under our first caution of the evening here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. And we always want to make sure to give a shout out to the sponsors here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. As remember, ButtKicker, feel what you have been missing. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful race response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure you go to ButtKicker.com and check out ButtKicker and feel what you've been missing. And remember, you can use Freaky Fast 20 there to get 20% off on any purchase on their website. Also, you can go to the Freaky Fast Facebook page and check out. We have a giveaway going on at the moment for a ButtKicker LFE system. So you can definitely get yourself your hands on some cool hardware by going to Freaky Fast Broadcasting on Facebook, our Facebook page there, and you can enter that giveaway. So make sure you go check that out. You can also check out our websites down in the description. You can check out live timing and scoring also down there. Lots of cool little doodads down there for you in the description that you can use to follow along tonight's race here at the Daytona International Speedway. But it's been an interesting start to this here, Robert. We had a pretty big incident there, and I want to see if that happens straight up front. I mean, now do does patience level, rise or does it lower? Do guys get more antsy because of that wreck there? Or I think this usually causes a calming of the field,
Uh,
especially for, a longer race like this.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Zach. I think a lot of this will have to do is I think it calms it down a little bit. But again, I think it calms it down. I'd say 90% of it. I'm not going to say there's 10% of drivers out there that don't know how to calm down, so please don't take it that way. But we are talking about Daytona International Speedway here and the drafting and the way things roll here with these cars that you can just push and you know, some of the not fast drivers out there, this is their chance to win. This is their chance to lock themselves in for the rest of the season. We got a long, grueling season coming up here with these guys. So, you know, you seen at the Clash, we had a
Yep.
driver. What's his name? He took the 10 bonus points. I mean,
Yep.
not in the playoffs, but in the bonus points because he didn't make the playoffs last year. So that just goes to show you that anybody in any given day can win, but you got talent all up and down this whole field here. I mean, we packed in 36 cars here tonight as we're getting ready to go back green here, Zach, on lap 13 of 125, the 500K here with the Gentleman iRacing League. Oh, man, I am so pumped. I love this.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a wild start. As you actually already seen the 42, not the greatest start for him. That's 63 of Alex Walter. They're going to take the lead. Here comes Robert Kinney there directly behind him in that 34. Last year's winner of the Daytona 500K, trying to get himself back-to-back victories for a season opener. Oh, and I see a little smoke in the back, and I think that's maybe a little bit of technical issues going on back there, but nothing to do with race cars wrecking. So we're good to go here as they continue on down to 3 and 4. And I tell you what, yeah, the racing here with 36 cars, I think the patient level is definitely going to change here. I think guys are going to get a little more patient here as they've seen what can happen here early at this racetrack, and we'll see some guys nursing race cars too and trying to make them get to the end of this 500K event here. And also, like you said, Robert, to point out, if you win tonight, if you can make 9 starts in the regular season and stay in that top 20 in points, you will be going to the playoffs. So like you said, this could be the chance for somebody to lock themselves into the playoffs here tonight by just doing the 9 starts and getting top 20 points, that they can possibly do that here tonight, where they could have had a tough chance if they didn't get a win here tonight.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, every race counts out here. So, everybody gets hyped up, man. It's the opening season in real life NASCAR. We've seen 24 hours at Daytona this weekend, Zach. These guys are opening up at Daytona. Last week, leagues opened up at Daytona. So it's all anxious. And gentlemen, when you're a racer, you don't know how not to slow down. Like, your brain goes a mile a minute until you get, through this first race, and then you're like, okay, season open, this is where I'm at. Now I know what I need to do. But right now, everybody's like, man, let me go for it.
Yeah, you can see right now the 63, Alex Walter, he's on the apron actually right now, letting everybody by in that 63. He had enough of it up front. He said, I got up there, led a lap in the 63, and he says, you know what, I'm going to drop back here and get in this little bit safer area here. As you see now, this front pack still going at it with Matt Dyer up front here leading the field in that 88. Started from second position, so he's only, he's been right here this whole time. Is actually, I believe, Evan Coleman, the 51, who was involved in that early wreck in the 51. He is out of this race.
That is unfortunately for him. But again, it's a long season, so he'll be able to bounce back. I was doing a little bit of research on different drivers and different things like that, and I couldn't find a weak spot through this whole lineup. Be honest with you, Zach. I was like, okay, that guy. Wait, nope, that guy's good. Nope, that guy's good. And I'm not just sitting there bragging and sound good because I'm broadcasting their league, but I was like, holy mackerel! Like, wow, this is a stacked house field.
Yeah, no, it's definitely stacked out here. And from season 1 here, they had Eric Stamp bring home the Daytona victory here to start off the season in 53. At the moment, he's in 33rd, 37 seconds behind this lead with a damaged race car, and the pack will be behind him very soon as they're heading down the back straightaway. He's going into 3. So, yeah, unfortunate for the 53 Eric Stamp. I think his chance to get his second Daytona victory is possibly out of the books here. As you'll see here, they go to lap the 53 Eric Stamp here
Yeah,
in the opening stages of this race. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, definitely. And there's nothing worse than a ride around Daytona with a hurt car like this. This is one of the most. This just rubs salt in the wound. You know, another racetrack, you can at least decently ride around with a hurt car, but with a hurt car here, you are just, there's nothing that you can do. You're all by yourself the whole race.
that is correct. And it looks like we're getting a 2-pack racing going on right here now. Split there with a 38. There looks like he's in the middle all by himself, but we got a pack of 9 cars up front, and then everybody else in the back. Now, I also do want to give a big shout out to the 73 there of Ryan Huff. That guy is stoked for today's race, man. All over Facebook, tagging Freaky Fast. He was just one of them drivers I was paying attention to closely. So, he was exciting as he's out there running pretty good. He's got a little bit of damage, but he's out there, doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, no, he definitely is hanging in there right now in that 73 machine, the 17th position. But big thing right now is just survival. And looking at his car, he did get a little bit of damage from that last wreck in that 73, but it's not terrible. That is definitely damage he can deal with the rest of this race, I feel like. Oh, wow. And I tell you what, the racing up front, we thought it might be a little less, hectic up front, but these guys are definitely racing hard for this lead right now. As you're going to see Bronson Stafford actually take the lead from the 35th starting position, too. That's literally next to last on the field, and he's brought this thing up to the front of the pack.
All right, well, as we're getting stuff rolling here, 21 laps into it, I want to know, everybody out there, who's your fan favorite? Now, the reason why I'm asking this, and Zach would like to know too, this is the first time Freaky Fast is calling their season for them here at Adrenaline. So we're at the clash. We learned a little bit about some drivers, but we didn't see the magnitude of drivers that we see out there tonight. So who's your favorite? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to win the championship? Who do you think's going to win tonight's race? I know it's a lot of questions at once for you, but give us some feedback and let us know so we can interact with you fans out there to try to, have a talk back and forth and see who the fan favorite is and who is the, do we got a Dale Jr. out there? Or, you know what I'm trying to say, Zach? Because, we don't, well, honestly, we don't know. I would really like to know. So,
yeah, so let's know who you're pulling for out there in the chat, like Robert said. And thank you all for tuning in, as always, on Freaky Fast. And 22 laps in the books. Got Robert Kinney still leading this race here. Last season's Daytona opener winner. Great looking start for him in that 34 machine. But I gotta give credit to the 61 of Bronson Stafford there. They set this lineup here with duels before this race earlier today. So, he must have had some type of issue in that duel race to put him back there in that starting position. So that just shows you at Daytona, you can never give up with the starting position you have. That 61 looking very strong right now for Bronson Stafford. From his back bumper to, I believe that's the 24 of Brockton Packard.
That's correct. So, Zach, what are we looking for? And I ask this to you every time. What are we looking at fuel mileage here for these guys?
All right, so we're looking at about an 80% fuel tank. Or I shouldn't say about. It is an 80% fuel tank in these race cars here tonight. So, with that knowledge, we know that we have about 14.96 gallons, so roughly 15 gallons of fuel in these race cars. We're usually burning right at most at about half a gallon per lap here at Daytona. So we're still looking at the upper 20s, but it's not going to be in the 30s like we normally see with the full tank. As the full tank would normally get around here normally about 34, 35 laps is about what you can pull off with a regular tank here. So I'm thinking tonight anywhere from 26 to 29 or so. So we'll have to watch how far they can go with this 8% fuel. It'll be pretty telltale if we can get that long a green run, and that's when they pit, because I think these guys are going to stretch it as far as you can. Kind of the way you play Daytona, go as far as you possibly can, and then you can take less fuel on that last stop of the race and possibly no tires.
All right, and then back here, looking in the back of the field here, we got Tanner back here all by himself. We do got a couple vehicles that look like they did not pit here. The 46 of Jump, he did not make a pit stop yet. We got Alex here, he did not make a pit stop yet. And then the 42 of Williams, he did not make a pit stop. So we actually have 3 vehicles right now, Zach, that did not make a pit stop. So
yeah,
that is very interesting when the rest of the fields came down on lap 11 and topped off. Now, why would those guys stay out when the rest of the field,
Yeah, I think the 42 stayed out of the lead lap. Now, also, you had the, I believe it was, 63 Alex Walter, too. He also stayed out, and he led a lap. So I believe both of these guys got a lap led. They won that bonus point, but now they're going to be very critical here on fuel very soon, because that caution will give them a few laps, but I believe the farthest they're going to be able to go is maybe 30, 32. So I would expect a pit stop for these guys in the next 3 laps. That's going to be unfortunate for them. We also got some people out in chat there, Robert, who are saying that the 38 and the 61. So that's the 38 of Shane Perry and the 61 of Bronson Stafford, favorites for the championship this season. And he's cheering on Kim Motorsports. So definitely cool to see that out there. Thanks for that. And we also got one for the 15 of Braxton DeWeese. And there's some cool stuff out there from the fans. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching this battle going, because these guys have been going back and forth behind Robert Kinney here. He's done a great job just to hold this lead so far. But you got the 88 working the outer lane there, and Matt Dwyer just trying to get as much ground as he can up on that high side and pull even with these guys. It's been a great battle so far. You even got Johnny Jones, the 18, the pole setter, coming here tonight, getting himself back up into the picture. As right now, it's about a 16-car breakaway for this pack. And then from there, 17th on, you got the 54 Tom Bourne and Matthew Rodriguez kind of all by themselves at 17th and 18th. And they're about 5 seconds back. But then all the way back here to the 15 of Braxton, he's in the 19th position in that car, and they're about 7 to 8 seconds back, and they have about a 6-car pack here. Well, actually about 7-car pack here. From the 19th position on. And if anything happens, they're so far back in this big pack. If anything happens, they're completely fine. So they could be pulling this strategy here to try to stay out of the carnage.
Yeah, a lot of drivers do that too. Try to stay out of it, and as the laps count down, the anxious goes up more and more and more, and eventually you'll start seeing cars pushing and shoving and things like that. Now, I got another question to ask you, Zach. I read, and maybe I'm reading this wrong, I read that this last iRacing update that we got, did they change the package of the Cup car again?
Oh, I do not believe so.
Why did I see something with the setups with more downforce?
Oh, I think we actually took downforce away from the cars.
They took it away. I knew it had something to do with downforce. Okay.
Yeah, so there's possibly a change in the cars. I mean, Daytona, this place has got the huge round rear spoiler, so this place has got a ridiculous amount of downforce on these race cars to create that huge bubble behind them. So I don't think it's a huge factor, but I haven't drove these cars since the update, so I really don't have a clue right now. As I tell you what, this front of this pack, they're going to battle now. It's kind of switched up. Now you got Robert Kinney up top on the high line with Matt Dyer on the bottom lane in that 88. So it's kind of switched our front 2 players around here.
I call this the calm before the storm. That's what.
It's a good way to look at it.
That's what I say. You know, the storm came out, it wrecked a couple vehicles, and then the storm went away, and everybody said, "Oh, we better be nice to the storm," until the end of the race.
Yeah, you try to stay out of the storm. That's the whole goal here at Daytona. But I tell you what, you drive through a storm at some point at this place at all times.
Yes.
It might not be a snowstorm down here in Florida, but it can be pretty bad. So you never know what you're going to get on the Daytona high banks here when it comes to types of wrecks in front of you.
And that you can see down here on the track map of the left-hand corner down there, ladies and gentlemen. The circle that has the yellow around it says P6. That's who we are focused on right now, Jones. You can see they are coming up on the 26th place vehicle coming down the backstretch. So, and then you can see a little split there where it says 27. There's a little gap right there. And then you look all the way back in the middle of the backstretch, 15th position on back. There's a whole pack of cars just hanging out back there right now. So they're about a whole turn difference there, Zach.
Yeah, and we actually had the 42 of Joshua Chadwick Williams hit pit road in that 42 machine because of that stopping. You also see the 63 Alex Walter there was able to pack just past him on that apron. He just came out pit road too. So they both made it 31 laps on that tank of fuel with a caution. So yeah, right in that where I was thinking. So I'm thinking right around 29 to 27 laps is what these guys can do fuel wise. As this front pack, I tell you what, they got a slow car here coming up on 2, and that's going to be interesting. Here's the 33 of Josh. I believe that's no, it's not Josh Coley. Sorry about that. It's the I can't see the number.
I can't see the number. It's a black car. No,
for
who's
me,
in 26?
That is Matt Hummel, actually, in the 93 car. Okay, sorry.
93.
I knew it was a 3. I seen a 3, but I couldn't see the other number. So, yeah, there's the 93 Matt Hummel. He was getting lapped there in the 25th position. As got a few guys already laps down here.
Here goes Tanner. Tanner is now going to go a lap down. That would be Tanner Johnson, Mr. Radney, Mr. Tanner Johnson.
Yeah, and you know, he was involved in that initial wreck. Did get damaged, but I think he just lost the pack. So that's unfortunate to see for him. But if he can catch on here, anything happens, he can stay in that lucky dog position because Matt Hummel is directly behind him. If he can stay in the lucky dog position, you know, you're still within a shot here at Daytona if you have a clean car. So just right now, his goal is stay with this pack and just stay in line and hopefully, you know, get a caution or something.
Well, and that's it. You go 1 lap down, your race is not over here. You go 2 laps down, your race is not over here. You go 3 laps down, your race is not over. But anything, I do believe, after 3 laps down, you're clawing and scraping to get them laps back then. But like you said, he can latch onto this draft, just hang out to where he needs to be, and hopefully get the lucky dog if something, you know, happens here. Because, you know, a lot of people don't talk about this at Daytona or Talladega. Going around like this is, I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not. It's not easy to do what these guys are doing out there. And we'll go cockpit view and we'll show everybody out there what it looks like behind the wheel of what you see with the vehicle in front. But what I was going to get at there, Zach, is, you know, making your pit stops. You know, when you got a pack of cars of 16 to 19 cars all gonna pit at the same time, you all better be on the same frequency, because I'm telling you, because if not, bad things are gonna happen extremely fast out there, and there's no slowing down, because when you're trying to slow down, trying to move left to right, at the same time you're hitting your brakes to get down to 55 miles per hour before you hit that commitment cone. There's a lot going through your brain, you know, a lot.
Oh, that's for sure. It's very tough, especially with this many cars. And, you know, to point out two things you're talking about, you know, getting laps back, the more cars out here and, you know, the entries into this field with 36 cars, that's you're in a tough spot to get laps back, because that's a lot of cars to beat to get the lucky dog and get in
Hmm.
that position every single time.
Yeah.
And if you get multiple laps down, there could be guys going lap downs every time there's another caution. Oh man, the pack
Whoa.
just had a huge wiggle there. You seen the 24 of Brockton Packard. He almost had a huge moment as they went by Eric Stamp there in the 50 in the 50 or the 53 machine there, put him 4 laps down at the moment. So that was a wild ride there for a few guys. Could have been very close right now, as Shane Therian right now leading the field, last season's pole setter too. So he's used to leading, and what we've heard too is he's a tough one to beat for the
Yep.
championship. Him and the 61 are going to be tough. But we also got to shout out High Five Racing out there. They're out there in the chat, and 546 Racing. So they got some tough guys, they said too. So I expect a lot out of them this season here. Is It's going to be a great season here at the Adrenaline Iris Series. Is Look at the 9 here of Spencer Hardison. He's trying to work his ways with Shane Therian now, though, up front, and that is great stuff. But him and Brockton Packard had a big moment in this 9. I had one of those Code Brown moments, as I would call it. That was very sketchy as they went through the pack here, and they're also going to be coming by to lap another car. And these guys are doing a great job getting through this lap traffic here, and the lap traffic is doing a good job also holding their line.
Yeah.
And that's the key of lapping cars at Daytona here. As 39 laps, pit stops should be happening pretty soon. As they pitted on lap 11, I think we'll see pit stops here in the next 5 laps.
Yeah, I'm looking around lap 43 is what I'm thinking. Somewhere around there, 42, 43. We're going to see some guys duck in. And some of these guys up here, in this pack too, are going to duck out sooner than later anyways, because you don't want to pit with a whole bunch of vehicles like that. If you feel uncomfortable, you're better off going in a lap before the rest of the field does. You're still, as long as you got other cars with you, you have to have other cars with you. You have to have your team working with you. If you're an independent driver out here, which I don't think they are, but there might be some.
There's a few. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some free agents.
Find some friends. I mean,
Yeah.
even if they're not your friends, be friends, until the end of the race.
No, you're completely correct about that. And I'm seeing a few guys now out in the chat putting their hands out the window, and they're saying, I'm coming down to pit road. So we're going to see a few guys hit pit road this time on lap 40. Like I said, this is right in that window. 29 laps is what I think these guys could do on green. So this is pretty much 29 laps. And here they come. Here comes most of the field. Shane Therian leading the way. Robert Kennedy there. You got a few guys locking up at 61 of Bronson Stafford there, or Bronson Stafford. They're locking up a little bit as they come to pit road. And the thing is, too, right, like you said, you got to pit with friends. You got to have help, and you can't make mistakes here and lose the draft either. If you make a mistake here on pit stops and lose this pack, you're going to be riding around by yourself and going to be looking for a life raft, as I would say here at Daytona, to hang on to something as these guys hit pit road. But that was a good portion, about half of the field hitting pit road here this time by, and or at least that front pack. So next time by, we should see, I'd say, a good portion of the other guys' pits. And now the leads over to Gilberto Javier Gamera in the 95 is him and Johnny Jones side by side coming out 3. We'll see who pits this time here. Looks like less cars pitting this time. These other guys are going to decide to stretch the fuel as far as they possibly can. You can save a good amount of fuel here at the Daytona International Speedway, and that could be something these guys are trying to stretch it as far as they possibly can to set themselves up for a really quick stop at the end of this race, or even possibly maybe stretching it. I'll have to do some math here, but maybe possibly stretching it into a fuel strategy that could possibly have one less stop maybe. So I'll have to do some math here to figure that all out. But at the moment, you got Matt Dyer leading this field here, and I believe if they don't pit this time, they saved a good bit of fuel because they'll go 3 extra laps than these guys. That's a good bit. And here at the Daytona International Speedway, that'd be pretty impressive to see. But like you said, hitting pit road is so hard. It is one of the toughest things to do, get these stock cars slowed down here as they come. And I believe we'll have actually, I think that's the 93 and the 46 staying out. And both these drivers are a lap down. So these guys have are a lap behind them, so they should be able to go one more lap. But yeah, now I tell you what, that is interesting to see everybody hitting pit road. And you're going to have to do your best here. And it's very tough also leaving the pit road. It's so easy to spin the tires exiting pit road. It's so slick. So no mistakes here. Stay in the draft, and that's the key for green flag stops at Daytona.
Very, very true. And I got to give a shout out to all these guys. Great pit stop, great exiting. A packed house of 36 vehicles out there, and they just made this look very, very clean. Very good, very good. good
Oh, they
racing.
definitely do.
Yeah, yeah, wow.
And trying to figure out exactly what car will be leading that front pack. I believe it'll be the 13 of Austin Greatorex in that 13 machines here. So he's going to blow by these guys on the inside lane, getting up to speeds. You're going to see the next few cars. That's going to be Matt Dyer, who led him down pit road to the here. So you're going to see these guys go to his outside here coming. He's going to try to hang on here as you look back at the 38, pushing that 13 through the corner, Austin Greatorex. And it looks like this pack's going to get by that 88 of Matt Dyer. Can Matt Dyer hang on? I think he will be able to, because now that's going to be about I believe that's going to be a 7-car breakaway. We're going to have little separate, 7-car, 4-car, 8-car packs here, because the guy's just doing a better job on pit road, and that shows you can lose this race on pit road just by executing and not executing a pit stop already.
That is very, very true there, Zach. Now, everybody out there, let me know how the quality sounds and how the audio sounds and how the videos are looking on both platforms. As earlier today, we had a little problem with YouTube, but I do believe, knock on wood, I think we got that issue fixed on our end here up at the office. But I wanted to show everybody now, Zach, as we ride with Robert here, Kenny. You can see, look, when he gets behind that 38, you cannot see anything in front of him unless they, bail out a little bit to the left, to the right to cool the engines off. Other than that, you're playing follow the leader, sir.
Yeah, I mean, you can see directly here from Robert Kenny's position. He's third in line. Single file, I must add, too, so this helps that cause a lot. But single file here, he's directly behind that 30 or the 38 of Shane Theory here. And the thing about that is he can't see that car. I mean, when you see him go through the corner and they match up, he does not see that car directly ahead of Shane. He does not see Austin in the 13. So you can only imagine being the 5th, 6th car in the line on that bottom line with multiple rows above you. You can possibly, you can do 4 wide here at Daytona, not recommended, especially how wide it is. But 3 wide is very doable at this racetrack. And when you have 3 cars lined up in each lane like that, and you're on the bottom lane, you just you really can't see nothing. I mean, it's a terrifying feeling down there. And these cars, they're not easy to hold even straight. So, and it's definitely fun to watch, but it's definitely nerve-wracking from inside the car, as we had a big moment from the 13 of Austin Greatorex trying to get in line. Man, oh man, he closed the door on that 18 of Johnny Jones, and that could have been very, very sketchy there. It could have possibly caused the wreck here. As we look at, this is the second pack foreman too that we're looking at right now, as this is Caleb Smith in at 25. Looks like last time by they were able to make up a couple hundreds, but they're about 2.5 seconds back from the 7-car breakaway up front, and now they are also a 6-car breakaway with about 2 cars directly behind them. So it's going to be tough. And then we look back at the next pack here. This is Brockton Packard at 24. He's about to get passed by this pack here, as he's lost that pack ahead of him. There goes Braxton DeWeese there in the 15 getting by. The 24 a little into the wall for Brockton Packard. Ooh, big hit there as these guys come through. And these guys are 20 seconds back now in the big picture of things. They're definitely going to need a caution at some point in this race.
Yeah, that's just right. Saying 20 seconds back, running side by side is not helping them at all. They're going to need to get a yellow here to catch up back up through the field. So I don't know. Again, you would think if these cars here, what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 cars would get in line there, Zach. They would be really fast. But actually, the way these cars handle and drive in the draft, they're not as fast as you think they are single file than going 2 by 2. I know it's weird, and I do believe you explained that to me before, that you actually get a little bit more speed out of them not going single file.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's definitely an art to it. I mean, if you race side by side really hard and you're not giving positions to people and letting the flow of the draft work its way out, you can go slower being side by side. But the big thing that makes you go faster side by side is you don't have to check up for anybody. If you get a run, you use it, and you go with the flow, and the guys on the bottom lane understand it. It's almost like a conveyor belt, One guy gets out front, he has a clean engine. or cool engine, we would say. Then the car is going to swap, get another cool engine out front. And then that guy can push because you can only push for a certain amount of time. And these guys already caught up. I mean, they caught the pack pretty easily, and they were 2.5 seconds back. Once you get within about 2 seconds, you really start to get a little bit of a tow from that front pack because there's how many cars it is. And like you see, these guys got there within a lap or two. And now we got about I believe a 14 car breakaway. Yes, a 14 car breakaway here up front. Pack. Looks like 50 laps in the books. Going to be this time by 50 laps in the books for the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. And I tell you what, it's been a blast so far as the strategy is coming into the picture. And I was looking at fuel numbers. These guys should be able to make it on 2 stops for the rest of this race. And it was right on the edge, and they luckily got to that 40 mark where it let them in that window. If they would have had to go a couple more, a few less laps, it would have been in the range of just having to barely stop for that 3rd stop. But it looks like we're only going to need 2 stops to the end of this race here for these race cars out on the racetrack. So it's going to be fun to see how that all shakes out and when these guys do decide to pit.
And tires is not going to be the issue, as they had 5 sets in the
pits,
pits, and tires really don't come to a factor at a track like this tonight. If you could change your right side tires, yeah, it's recommended every time. Why not? And then go down and change your left, and then go out, change your right. But you can do this 2 fuel runs. I do believe you can do it without changing your tires. Then I would recommend maybe looking at changing your tires. But you don't have to do it every pit stop. So, and a lot of these drivers, unless you got to take a tank of fuel, then you might as well.
If you got to take a full tank, you're putting 4 tires.
Yeah, because I'm looking at everybody's pit stops that I'm seeing here, Zach, and everybody was in the 14, 15, so everybody took 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco fuel. As go back here,
what a save!
Wow,
that all started on the 18 of Johnny Jones. Another big wiggle from the 18 there on the bottom lane. I believe he caught the apron just a little bit washed up, got into the side of the 80 of Matt Dyer. And I tell you what, Matt Dyer saved it, but the 25 of Caleb Smith, that dude deserves a medal. He hit the wall, but barely any damage done to that 25. And I tell you what, it's not terrible for him. And the 88 got a little bit of rear damage out of that. So a little bit of damage for a couple cars there. But the big picture is they are completely fine. They're still in the draft pack, and they're hanging on. No harm, no foul right now.
Now, we don't have stage racing, do we, here?
No, we do not. No stages here tonight all the way to the end of this race. It could possibly go boom to the end. You never know with these Daytona races, especially when they get like this. They're in a lull stage right now where, everybody's like, almost your competition becomes your friends. You're saying, hey guys, let's get out here, pull away from the pack, and get as little cars as we possibly can out here. So when it comes down to the end, it's just going to be us few guys racing for the win. Then you have a way bigger chance when you have 20 cars racing in a pack. Your shots of winning are dramatically lower than 5 to 10. So. Your goals through these pit stops is to work together with the people you're around and get as far away as possible when you get to these longer run trains every time. And we want to thank everybody for always tuning in too. Thank you guys for tuning in freaking fast. Here is we're 54 laps in the books. Looks like they'll be coming out of turn 2 this time. So 54 and a half laps completed here at the Daytona International Speedway. So we still got a long way to go here before we get on to the nitty gritty of all this. We're not even halfway done with the Daytona 500K here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. As they continue to run single file up front here, they're going to be catching a few lap cars here. Looks like that is going to be the 21 Justin Dittrich. Also, you got the 42 of Joshua Chadwick Williams, and also Josh Coley. So putting these cars multiple laps down, and gonna go on by these guys as we continue on here on lap 55.
Well, I'm just looking at the max speed that that these guys are hitting, and you can see about 203 in the draft on a good running draft going into turn 3. That is hauling some mail, sir. That is moving out there, you know, especially at this line. And they're basically spread out through the whole field here right now. So I know some of these drivers out there are actually begging for a caution. They don't want to be the caution, but they want to see the caution.
Yeah, I got some guys begging right now for some cautions. We can take a look at them. Here is I believe the 63 of Alex Walter there, and also the 73 of Ryan Huff, as these guys are running in the 23rd and 24th position right now, 39 seconds behind the leaders. They right now are definitely hoping for some type of yellow, because if we keep going like this, these guys are across the start finish line now as the lead pack's coming out of 4. So they're literally less than half a straightaway ahead of this lead pack. And you also got Brockton Packard, who's getting passed right now on that top side to put himself a lap down the 24. So that just shows you get separated from people, and it's a long night for yourself riding around by yourself.
That's funny, as I was just giving a shout out to Ryan Huff. You see out there on Facebook, we got Kevin out there rooting on Ryan Huff from Evolution Racing League. So what's the odds of that? Now, that is family friends right there. Not sure if they're family, but I'm just saying that's pretty cool that he's out here rooting on a driver in a Adrenaline iRacing League, and he runs over there with Evolution. That is pretty cool. I like to see the community come as a family. It is pretty awesome. I do get chills up my arms about that, Zach. I really do.
Yeah, right now, looking at the 93 Matt Hummel, we got to give him credit too, because he was going a lap down. I think he pitted early by himself is what caused that, but he's in this lead pack here in 12th, so he's done a good job there through that. But I tell you what, up front, Shane Theory got stuck in the sucker hole up front. Is man, oh man, he dropped back to the third car on the bottom lane, and actually looks like the Tyler Tomasi in the 76 was able to jump down in front of him also on the bottom lane. So it's definitely, it was single file, but it's starting to heat up a little bit up front. These guys are getting tired, I think, running single file here. And we should see pit stops within the next 9 laps, I'd say 9 to 10 laps here before we see the next pit stop shaping up.
Now they are clipping off the laps left and right, and look at the draft we get on the top side. And you can see, look how just everybody, the 34, 76, 38, and I will learn names, but how they all just checked up there for a little bit. You had to slow down so you didn't run over that guy in front of you.
Yeah, and like I said, we had Kevin Dowd out there. He's saying someone will get impatient soon enough. The yellow will come. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely wise words at Daytona. That yellow will come, but how soon will it come? That's the thing. You never know with these things. So that's how you got to see how it all shakes out. You never know. You could already be a lap down or out of that lucky dog position. Then you don't want to see that yellow. You're going to have to take a wave around and get off strategy. So it's there's a lot that could play out here at Daytona. But I tell you what, one thing's for certain, these guys are going to race super hard, and that's what we're seeing right now. As you can see, the 61 of Bronson Stafford are getting the big push from Caleb Smith in the 25 to get himself to the lead here of this race.
Kevin, we do appreciate the comments, and you do love our broadcasting or like our broadcasting, but we know it's all about Ryan. Mm-hmm. We know it's about Ryan. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
About Ryan? Okay. All right. Anyways, I have to have... Okay. Back to the race, as I was trying to make funny out there.
Yeah, it's definitely heated up. I'll tell you what, this lead pack here, they no longer said we're running single file. They're going at it with these first 14 cars. And we'll see how it all shakes out here before these pit stops. Because like I said, pit stops are going to start happening here within the next 5 to 7 laps. So, running side by side is cool and all, but at some point you're going to want to get down low to be able to pit and put yourself in a good position to pit. So, oh, and I already seen a
Speaking of
few
it,
guys duck off. That's really early right here for me. So, these guys I think will definitely. That's Trenton Jump and I believe Matt Hummel. Yeah, like I said, I think these guys pitted early on the first stop. And I think that's going to hurt them. I think they will have to make a third stop in this race. So 2 more even after this, I believe. And back up front here with Bronson Stafford still leading the way, 63 laps in the books. As looks like the outside lane led by the 76 of Tyler Tomasi. He's got Caleb Smith and 80 Matt Dyer up there top with him, working that outside lane, trying to do their best to get in position. We also got to give a shout out to Robert Kinney there, last season's winner. Like I've brought up multiple times, he's in that second position. He's staying in contention, trying to go back to back to start off the season. That would be a heck of a storyline for that 34.
also the big storyline I think right now opening up this season is Toyota, baby. Top 5 are Toyotas, and then we got 3 Fords, and then the closest Chevy is all the way back in 9th position. How's that feel, Zach? Feels pretty good, doesn't it, sir?
I can take that. That's cool for me. I just like diversity. I love seeing the different manufacturers. A lot of times you see a lot of Chevrolets and a lot of different racing leagues out there. So it's cool to see that Adrenaline iRacing's Cup Series has a bunch of Toyotas, a bunch of Fords, and a bunch of Chevys. So
you're just saying that because
really
we're
fun.
live on the internet right now. When we get off, you'd be like, "Them Toyotas stink, man." Blah, blah, blah.
I would never say that. First of all, now do I not root for Toyota in the Cup Series in real life? No, I don't root for them. But at the same time, I like Toyota drivers. At the end of the day, I love racing. So any good racing we can get out here,
you do.
That's the big thing.
I'm looking for the candy machine.
Yeah, where is the candy, Robert? Where is it?
I don't see a candy machine.
I'm surprised you haven't found one yet.
I haven't, actually.
Look at this Foreman here. Oh, man. Hang on. Going by the 53 Eric stamp, and also there's the 40, I believe that's the 46 of Trenton Jump. Yeah, they're going by. I tell you what, Bronson Stafford, he almost got in trouble there with that as that pack separated all up, man, and he's able to get back down to that bottom lane there in third as the leads changed over to Robert Kinney's hand.
Who's in 46 again? I do apologize. Oh, that would be Jump.
Yeah, Trenton Jump, yes.
Yes, he just made a pit stop there, and now he's stuck in the middle. But if he can just latch on here, which it looks like he's going to be able to, looks like everybody's going to allow him to get up to speed, get in line, and as everybody else makes their pit stop there, Zach, everything should shuffle around for him and at least put him back with the lead laps until he has to make another pit stop.
Yeah, very, very true. So it's good for him to at least catch him to the pack there. That's the big thing in the memory bank for him there. And looking at this too, Luminary Racing, which is under the Toyota banner, that is the 34 Robert Kinney, the 13 Austin Greatorex, the 38 Shane Therian, the 54 Tom Bourne, and the 61 of Bronson Stafford. And just looking at the top right now, the top of this field, you got Shane Therian, Robert Kinney, Bronson Stafford, Austin Greatorex. So that's 4 teammates from Luminary Racing there. 4 teammates all up here, up in this front positions right now. Really right now, they're really just missing out on Tom Bourne right now, who is running in the 15th position in that second pack, about 26 seconds back. So Luminary Racing, they're doing a fantastic job right now with their Toyotas here today at the Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, Toyotas are looking strong right now for that team. We'll see how that all plays out, as the race is not over here yet, so we'll have to see how this all plays out as we go back here to Logan. But I want to see who is the biggest mover of tonight's race so far. Zach, would be Mr. Jones in that 18, up 29 positions The next person closest to him would be Robert Kenny, would be the next one there in the 34.
Oh, well, what about Bronson Stafford though? He's started 35th to third. He's up 32 positions.
Stafford? I'm showing him up to 6 positions.
He started 35th and he's up third now. So,
oh, my data is showing +6.
well, that dad needs to do better math.
Apparently so. They fell asleep. They were out shoveling the snow for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole top 5 right now has started outside the top 10. So, I mean, that is impressive itself. Shane Therian, 16th to first. Robert Kinney, 17th to second. Bronson Stafford, 35th to third. Austin Grayrex, 23rd to fourth. Tyler Tomasi, 11th to fifth. And right now, the front 4 are teammates. So, see if anybody can break up that Luminary Racing front teammate pack. And there's their other teammate right there of Tom Bourne.
And we have Matthew Rodriguez. He's back here running in the 6th position, but we see...
Oh, they're hitting pit road and wrecking.
Oh, I was going to say, it looks like my data's going nuts.
The 14 of Cody Eldored, he's going to hit pit road here, and there's going to be no caution for that because that was off the racetrack. But big incident coming onto pit road there, and I believe that was between him and Brockton Packard in the 24, who might have got a little help from Caleb Smith. So I got to see what type of damage Caleb Smith in the 25 took to that front end, as I'll take a look at that. And definitely took some damage to the front of that 25, but nothing terrible. But I tell you what, it was worse for the rest of them guys, as we showed that there on the replay. That was here a wild thing here as they come down the pit road here. You're going to see it. Look, right to the back of the 14. It's going to send him spinning and unlock the brakes and get it back rolling again. As Logan Breeke, he got a front row seat of all that, and I think that's going to hurt him though, because he's going to lose that pack there as he slowed down for all that incident.
And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, trying to call out your pit stops and, one car go left, one car go right, don't run into each other. And unfortunately, we had a little bit of a hiccup entering pit road, so...
Yeah, so pitting there on lap 70, that means these guys could go 30 laps on fuel. That's what we've seen there from this first stoppers. They pitted on lap 40, went to 70, so that's 30 laps there on their fuel tanks. So now they'll be able to go to 100 and then 25 to the end. So one more stop looking like for the rest of these guys. As they're hitting pit road, you can see Caleb Smith a little bit wiggly there, trying to get it all together. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. That right there, that incident right there, Robert, could definitely have a huge effect on how the pack, shakes out once these guys get back on the racetrack.
Ooh, we have Spencer there overshooting his pit stall. That's not going to help, but this is going to, like you said, it's going to shake out the whole field here right now. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out, everybody, and see how where everybody lines up coming out here and what positions are in, who do they have to draft with, who they don't, what do you need to do. Some vehicles might have to slow down, Zach, to try to pick up a draft or at least pick up a vehicle to have a little bit more speed, because it's like you said, the last thing you want to do is be out here riding all by yourself. You're just a sitting duck.
Yeah, that you definitely are. Just looking at Shane Therian here, he's leading his 4 teammates here as they go down the back straightaway. I think directly ahead of them is Matt Dwyer, and I don't think Dwyer's going to be up to enough speed to hang on to these front 4 cars. They blow by the 88, and they definitely are going to pull away here now. 88's definitely going to try to hope they get some help here from the 76 Tyler Tomasi. Let's see if he can get the help from him to get him back near that front pack, because tell you what, it could be a 4-car breakaway here if the rest of these guys don't get formed up quickly, because right now it's 2, 1, 2, 1, and then from there the pack finally starts to form, because tell you what, it's definitely interesting to see how it's all going to play out. And they're going by Gilberto Javier Gamera there in the 94, so that puts them in the lead now. That's going to transfer lead over to Robert Kinney's hands in the 34 with all 4 teammates there, or 4 of the 5 teammates from Luminary Racing there up front here in the top 4. So that's just A-class teamwork there, as I must say. If these guys definitely now they're sitting there saying, I want to stay green. As actually now the 80 of Matt Dwyer and the 76 of Tyler Tomasi, they did catch up and they were able to catch on to that front draft. But now I tell you what, it's a huge gap back to that next pack, about 5 seconds.
That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah, and you're looking at the 5 here of Joshua Altus. He's in 17th right now, directly behind Braxton DeWeese and Tyler Stooksbury in this 19. And these guys are only 45 or 44 seconds behind the leader, which, well, actually, now it's going to go to 29. Oh, sorry. My time is scoring just up there. So I was about to say, these guys are not far away from going a lap down here. They should be directly in front of the leaders, but they have about 29 seconds back, 30 seconds back. So they still have about a 15-second gap back to the leaders before they can get in danger of going a lap down. But they have a decent enough cars here that it should be decent. Ooh, they actually has some action here too with the 15. Or sorry, I think that's the 54 of Tom Warner. A little close there to the door of that number 3.
You can hear him throttle playing right now. Also on that 5, he is on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off that gas. I think he's gonna maybe maybe I thought he was gonna back off a little bit there and let not sure who that is in front of him. Well, that's Matthew beside him. Matthew decides he's gonna fall behind the 5 and give him a shot. Did you hear that, Zach? It was a crunch.
Yeah, and I felt like if I was around the front bumper or the rear bumper of the car ahead of him, but it was a little bit of space there between him and Tom Bourne in that 54. So yeah, it's that was definitely a good little shot going down the back straightaway to get him going, as these guys are definitely going to have to keep the pace up here and hope for some type of caution to be able to catch back on, because you can see here is the front pack here led by Austin Grerex with Bronson Stafford directly behind Shane Therian in 3rd, Matt Dwyer 4th, Robert Kinney 5th, and Tyler Tomasi in the 6th position. Now they have about a 4-second gap back to 7th, and then about another 7 to 8 seconds back to 9th. So huge gap forming here for this front 6.
Well, everything's looking good for them as long as everything stays green. They shouldn't have no problem. It's just going to come down to what teammate do you let to win? I guess that's what that comes down to. Who works with who?
I want to thank you out there in the chat for correcting me about Matt's last name. So it's Dyer. Make sure I'm saying it instead of Dwyer. I keep saying Dwyer, is Dyer. Thank you for that.
Thank you
very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely let us know if we're butchering the names of one of your friends or family members out there, because that's how we learn here to say things right. Pronunciation of names can be very interesting sometimes. But yeah, it's I tell you what, here looking back at Logan Breeke here in the 11th position, you got to remember this pack right here of cars: Matt Hummel, Trenton Jump, Logan Breeke, Spencer Hardison, Caleb Smith. All these guys were in this front pack, but that little incident going down to pit road that happened pretty much put them in the position where they're at now, way behind this field.
And they are not gaining either. That's the other thing too. They're not catching up to to make up that ground. It's not that there ain't enough of time out there. It's just a matter of fact of the cars are so equal in speed that you can't make that up. I mean, it's hard. It's like road racing. When you go off track and try to make that back up, a 10th a lap, you're not going to make that up in 30 laps, depending on how far back are you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard. And the big thing is, they were a 10th slower last time by than the front pack. They're 7.3 back when they cross the start-finish line there. And this front pack is doing a good job of, swapping leaders. They push a car for a little bit, then swap. Push a car and swap when that car gets hot. So it's they're playing the strategy completely right to try to pull away and just make it down to a 7 or a 6 car battle here at the very end.
That, and I'm looking at the lap times too, Zach. And the last time by, the front pack there was doing 45 4s to their 45. Well, that time they ran 45 3s. Yeah. So they were a little faster, but they were in the 45 6s. roughly around that. So they were losing a tenth to two per lap.
Yeah, they're about about 2/3 of back straightaway behind them. So there's a distance there, that's for sure. And the thing is, they gotta make that gap up here if this race stays green, and they're gonna have to do it slowly but surely. The thing is, if they can get within 2 seconds, like I said, they can get within 2 seconds, they will pick up time at such a ridiculous amount. But the thing is also, this pack may be 6 lead lap cars, but now they've formed into an 8 car pack with 2 lap cars with them. So the pack up front is getting bigger, and the size is more comparable to the second pack now. So I think the time should start to even out between these front packs.
And again, that goes back to equal out ain't going to be faster. So it's not going to be enough. You know what I mean? They are banking on a yellow, unfortunately. They need to see a yellow, or they need to see this front pack here maybe fluff up like they did entering pit road, and maybe try to knock a rock through that line and try to break it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that, or maybe short pit. Do you think maybe short pit, Zach, would maybe work if they can make it on fuel? No.
At Daytona, it's risky. The thing is, these guys are going to need almost a full tank of fuel here to make it to the end. I'm saying pit stops happen around like lap 100, like I was saying. You're going to need at least 25 laps of fuel, so you're going to need to take at least over 1 tank of fuel. And what I mean by 1 tank of fuel is there's 2 cans of fuel that we use when we fill these cars up when we come down to pit road. And if you use more than 1 can, I think taking 1 can of fuel is usually right around 10 to 11 seconds, which is right around changing tires. So the thing is, you're not going to be able to gain, a great amount of time by taking less fuel. It's going to be minimal time, and you're not even going to be able to take that much of a lesser fuel, because you got to go 25 laps to the normal. What they could do is 30. So you're talking about 5 laps less of fuel. That's really only about 2.5 gallons, and that's not going to make a huge difference on changing tires or not changing tires. So I think pretty much everybody's in the same strategy of where they just got to come down, get that car filled up with from 30 on to go, and take 4 tires. And from there, I really think these guys are going to need a caution. At the moment, they are pulling away. The front packets continue to pull away. But like this slender giraffe out here in chat, he's saying, it's going to be interesting. You can gain and lose a lot of times at pit stops. We've seen the difference of guys when they something happened in front, they had to check up, and you saw where they lost the draft. Look how much they're now 8 seconds back. This front pack could have that same issue when we come down to pit road. I think it's more unlikely because there is 4 teammates in this pack here, which helps them. It kind of helps the coordination of what you're going to do when you come to pit road. Hey, I'm going to go in the right lane. You go to the farther left lane, and you kind of stagger it from there as you enter pit road. It makes it a lot easier entering pit road. But I've seen crazier things happen. And I can tell you, you can easily lose 8 seconds on pit road here at Daytona just by a simple mistake of, not getting hooked up in time. The cars just go so much faster when you're together in the pack that if you're ever by yourself, you're losing time. So you want to be able to enter pit road with a teammate and exit pit road with a teammate and not have to slow down ever and lift out of that gas, or you're just losing considerable amounts of time. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But I tell you what, there's a lot still to go in this race. It has been green flag pretty much since we got that first caution, that big one. But I'm telling you, just because these packs are spread out and fuel stuff going, guys are going to start to get a little more aggressive with the bumper track. Get a little more aggressive, with the moves they make. What holes they close, who they block. It's going to get down to that point where I could see this going green, but at the same time, the chances of going green down to the very end of this race are very hard to do at a track like this.
Yeah, very, very, very hard. Like I said, anything can happen there. So we'll have to sit back and wait so far here at Daytona International Speedway with adrenaline. Yeah, I just had myself a tongue twister. Adrenaline iRacing League. They've been under 1 yellow here so far as you tuning in late. So 1 yellow, 87 laps in the books here so far. We had multiple lead changes. We had some action going down pit road. A couple cars getting involved down pit road. Did not throw a yellow, so that is going to be your race summary as of right now on lap 88 of 125. So that catches you up there for a little bit on what's going on here with these guys.
Yeah, and right now, just looking at the times from the front pack, yeah, it's an 8.7 gap back to Trent Jump now. So gap is growing more and more as these guys continue to ride around the Daytona International Speedway. And, I really put that down to, I haven't really seen this second pack doing a lot of leader switching. And what I mean by that is, the guy who runs out front, he's going to have the coolest engine temperatures at that moment. So he's going to be able to push the hardest. So you want to do is get a car in front of him so he can use that cool engine to push. And then you're letting the guy that was in second take the lead where his engine was just burning up, He was using everything he could to keep the pack rolling. And, you got to manage that stuff. Daytona, yeah, we're turning left, running wide open and, pushing each other in a straight line. But these little things that the front pack's doing compared to the second pack is what is making this gap difference.
As they're up to 9.5 seconds now on these guys here. So they're slowly pulling away. And you know what you're saying there, jumping back and forth too. It helps equal out the gas as we got a couple people pitting here. But it helps equal out the gas fuel mileage too, because the car out front, very, very front, is getting the worst gas mileage than the vehicle behind you. So you flip-flop, you cool the other car down, you get the gas mileage to try to equal out about the same. Because when you're drafting like this, these guys going down the front stretch and back stretch are running about 100% wide open. But when you go through the turn, you run about 75% through a turn. And depending on how kind of drafter you are, some people can ride right against your bumper and run 75% all the way around the whole track without literally bumping into you. And that's hard to do, but there is drivers that have the skill level of doing that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're, it definitely depends on where you're at in line. The first car in line, always full throttle. That car is breaking the air for everybody. That's the car we're pushing, using that car as the windbreaker, we can call it. So, it's out there breaking that hole for everybody to use the rest of the car's energy to push us forward through this air, the aerodynamics here. But, you're also burning more fuel by running wide open. Like you said, Robert, out front, you're burning the most fuel. You have the most drag on the car. The force of that wind going over the car is pulling you back harder than it is any of those other cars in that line. Now, that second car in line, that car is the pusher. That car is the car that's trying to break, as much of that draft and push that front car as hard as you can through this racetrack. Now, when you get to that third and fourth car, that's when you're going to see people really lifting. A lot of those guys are lifting, playing with the throttle, because, you can't push a car that the big term we say is don't push the car that's pushing, When you get three cars sandwiched in there, that car in the middle, like, if you ever took an Oreo cookie and just squeezed it, the cream comes out the side, that car pretty much gets squeezed in the middle, and that creates huge issues. That car just wants to get shot out of there. You can either transfer that energy to the front car and cause a wreck. So a lot of times you don't see too many cars, 1, 2, 3 locking bumpers, as we got a few guys hitting pit road here back here. And I think those are the guys that stopped early here. And with 93 on lap 93, they are not going to be able to make it to the end if you're making a stop here now. So they're still going to need to make another stop for a splash of fuel. Any cars hitting pit road right now. But like I said, there's so many different little things being played in this pack. You think you're just sitting here turning left and hitting and running wide open. But a lot of times you're sitting here just riding, 75% throttle, just cruising, waiting for your time to be the pusher in the line. As you can see, this front pack continuously swapping leaders as they go through this race. And, that's just cooperation between this front pack here that's really helping them pull away.
Correct. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I've always been told the fourth car is your main drafter. He's your main pusher. Like you said, you got the front car breaking the air for the cars behind you. You got the second car, I always called the energy car. He is got all the energy because he's getting pushed by the third place car which is giving him all the energy. And that fourth place car is basically the equalizer. He's the one that's got to equalize everything out and keep all four of yo's the same speed without giving you too much of a push, because if you push the third place car, like you said, Zach, too hard into the second place, the energy's got to go somewhere, either out or forward. So it's all, I was always told, if you're the fourth place car, don't push. You push enough to push. I know that sounds stupid, but you're not pushing the push.
Yeah, the biggest
am I
thing,
saying that right?
your biggest job, you know, and I would say this for the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth car in line. Your biggest job there is just making sure you're keeping that third place car in somewhat general, you know, relative distance to that car in second place, because you're helping that car in second place keep his momentum also, because, you know, you can sit there and push that, you know, that 13 car who's leading right now, Austin Grerex, for example. That 61 can sit there and push as much as you want, but those two cars by themselves are not going to pull away from that pack.
Right.
You know, the farther back you get, the more draft you're getting. You know, you're getting the guy in second's getting a single car tow. The guy in third's getting a double car tow. The guy in fourth's getting a triple car tow. You know, the more cars you add in front of you in that line, the bigger tow you're going to get. The bigger that pocket of air is going to be.
Correct.
So back there, your job is you're going to have major runs. As we've seen Austin Grerex, he went from the lead to that fourth position. This is what they're doing. This is the example of what I'm saying. These guys are working together, you know, running hard with the car out front. Now you got Bronson Stafford. His car was probably starting to overheat, so the 13 swaps to the back. Now you got the 38 who's been sitting there not directly on the back bumper to 61, you know, in that third position. Now he's in second. He's going to get right on that back bumper and push as hard as he can. Then you're going to have Matt Dyer there in the 88. He's going to be a little bit off that bumper, about half a car back to, you know, you get close. You definitely get close as a third car. But it's all about managing that and not giving too big a show. But if you can do all this simultaneously, I mean, that's why you're seeing the gap now. 10.5 seconds. It's going to be probably 11 seconds very quickly. So the swapping of them back and forth is what's really making this impressive. And they're coming to lap 97 here to complete. So within the next 3 laps, we're going to see them hit pit road most likely. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be interesting. And they are in the fuel window now. Anybody that pits from this point on can make it to the end of this race. I would say take it as long as you possibly can, get that car packed full of fuel, because if you go green, white, checkered, you're going to want those extra laps of fuel in this car.
Yep, down ahead, as now you see 61's going to duck out, and now we're going to listen to Matthew there with his throttle play. It's a huge difference. If you ride along, ladies and gentlemen, just listen really closely to how these guys, I mean, these guys are doing this to the T, man. Like, to the T.
Yep. No, they're doing exactly right. And I mean, this just comes with experience, you know, and also working together. You know, as a front pack up here, these guys know as a front six, they're not going to win this race before they hit pit road. You know, they're racing right now to get to that end of the race, so they can race between each other and have this front six go to battle. Because I tell you what, when it gets down to 5 to go, you're not going to see this going on, swapping back and forth. Really, even 10 to go, you're not going to see much swapping back and forth. Really, from this pit stop on to the end, it's going to be on, I think, between these guys, since they've built such a big gap now to 11.3 seconds to the rest of this pack.
Right, and you can listen here, Zach, as you were talking. He did not lift once, ladies and gentlemen, not once. Now go back to the 13. Let's listen to him. Let's see if we go into the roll bar. Oh, okay, we'll go on top of the hood here. Just listen to once he catches up to that 88. If they don't make a pit stop here, okay, they have not made a pit stop yet. But listen to what he does. See, he is not. He's laying off, like you said, Zach. He's laying off about a half a car length, and he's not going any farther. And as closer he gets, he's letting off the gas. And I guarantee you, he's probably only running about 75 to 80% throttle. Right there, he just lifted. So he would not run up on that 88.
You know, lap 100 here, these guys, I think, this front pack here are going to be hitting pit road. Now, I will say that the third pack, that was led by the 15 of Braxton DeWeese, they did pit also, looking at lap 95, coming to complete 94. So those guys are putting it pretty close on fuel, especially if they get a green, white checker. They're definitely going to need fuel. But here comes this front pack down. So this should be majority of the field here pitted so far. It looks like the second pack has yet to pit, as I know Gilberto in the 94, Javier Gomera, he has actually stretched it multiple times, a lap or two farther. So I think you'll see a few guys go a little bit farther, but yeah, we have had multiple different packs pull off strategies here, and some guys pitting right when you can make it to the end, 30 laps to the end, and then we've seen this front pack here pitting with about 25 to go.
I must say to everybody out there and to the league and the league drivers and all the fans out there watching, this has been a pleasure. It really has been, watching these guys work the art of the draft and doing things that is not easy to do at all.
No.
It's not, and they made this look easy. They've had very good, clean race. Now, again, granted, we got 25 laps to go, and like you're saying, Zach, just everybody grab your drinks, use the restroom, grab your popcorn, whatever snack set you want, grab your beer. If you're up here on the northeast and you got a blizzard going on outside like we do right now here in the studio, you know, sit back and get ready to enjoy the ending of this race, because I do got a funny feeling. It's been calm, but I do think the storm is brewing, and I'm about ready to shove some down to your area there, Zach, and give you some snow. You want something there, buddy? Here, I can give you some. I mean, we got plenty.
If it snowed where I live, it'd be the end of the world. When it snows where I live, it's pretty much it's not good times. Let's just say that. So we're not built for the snow down here in the south, as they say. So we'll leave that up to you Northerners, and we'll just let these guys, because y'all guys seem to enjoy it. You know, we think it's a burden, I guess you could say.
Well, I do apologize, Chris. Apparently, we missed a round of pit stops. I don't remember.
That was the third group I was talking about,
okay.
led by the 15 of Braxton DeWeese. Yeah, they came down with about 30 to go there. As they hit pit road. So yeah, and you can see that's the pack there led by the 15. You got the 5 also in there of Joshua Altus. So you know, this pack here definitely hit pit road as soon as they can make it, is when these guys hit pit road. Now they are about 42 seconds behind the leaders here, so they are in jeopardy of technically going a lap down, but I think with the pack size they got, they should be able to stay on a lead lap. They're definitely hoping to catch some type of you know, caution here at the end of this race. As the front 6, we've seen them come down as the front 6 of Matt Dyer, Austin Greatorex, Shane Therian, Bronson Stafford, Robert Kinney, and Tyler Tomasi. All those drivers hitting pit road, and they all came out together. So those front 6, they came in together and they came out together. So that is as good as they could ask for, and if it stays green from here, it's going to be a battle between these 6 drivers here for the win tonight.
Now, I would assume, Chris, this is your brother in the 15. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Also, I'm reading out in chat too, Robert. Just want to say thank you to John Smith out there on Facebook for saying that we've been doing great. So we appreciate all the kind comments. And also Jeremy Myers. Thank you too. Yeah, these guys are putting on a clinic of team racing. I mean, you know, and the thing is cool about it is too, there's 2 guys that are non-teammates in this right here in this front pack. So that just shows the smarts of them saying, you know, these, you know, we just need to work together. You know, and that's, like I said, sometimes your competitors at Daytona can become your best friends because you guys work together to get this big lead. I mean, it's 16-second lead now. It's almost 17 seconds they build up to. I mean, they literally have such a huge gap that they could go to battle for the rest of these 21 laps and have no worries of anybody catching them. So now, you know, these guys are just hoping it stays green. That's really their big picture, and I think they're going to stay single file till about 10 to go, and then you might see something forming up. The only issue I see with the 2 guys up here that are not teammates, and that's Matt Dyer and Tyler Tomasi, is the 4 teammates of Luminary Racing. You know, these guys are going to be tough to beat just because they're, you know, those are 4 teammates working together. But I imagine at some point, you know, I've raced teammates at Daytona. Everybody's seen it at Daytona. Sometimes, at some point, the gloves come off and teammates are no longer teammates. Yeah, you want to help them, but you also want to go out there and win. And this is the Daytona 500K. This is just the way to kick off the season. This could lock you into the playoffs. This is a huge factor coming down these last 20 laps here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. So we got to see who's going to be able to willing to risk it for the biscuit here at Daytona.
Very true. 19 laps to go here, and it's just calm. We much appreciate everybody out there tuning in. I'm glad you're enjoying the commentating and the show here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. If you don't mind, hit us a share. Let your friends, family know about Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Also, let them know about Adrenaline iRacing League and how they race every Sunday night. So the next 35 weeks or 34 weeks, make sure you tune in at 5:50 Eastern every Sunday night when we go live with these guys. And the best way to not miss any of that action is to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. But if you're over on Facebook, you see that little bell up there on the right hand corner. All you got to do is hit that bell, and that will automatically give us a like and a follow on Facebook. And every time we go live, you don't miss any of the action here with Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
Yeah, and Robert, you were asking Chris out there, and you said it's his son.
It's his son. Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was brother, but son. Okay, well, cool. Dad rooting on his son out there.
Yep. Yeah, now Braxton's up to the 12th position at the moment. So they've been that third pack for most of this race, but at the same time, they've been able to gain positions of drivers having mistakes. If I wasn't correct, I believe Braxton at some point was in the 20s, being that third leader of that third pack. Now, up to that 12th position, could possibly get a top 10 here if something else happens to somebody else in front of him. So, that's not a terrible day in the office here at Daytona. You'll take a top 10 here because you never know what you're going to get. So that's been a great job of them. As you can see, there's the lead pack coming off of 2. You can see directly how far behind they are. And that gap is around 6-7 seconds right now in front of those leaders. So they shouldn't go a lap down here. But they're definitely going to be hoping, I think, for something to happen so they can have a chance at, forwarding their position. But you never know. I'm telling you, Daytona, last laps, things can happen, and you can gain upwards of 10 positions just in that last lap. So, and also, I think that Jacob G out there in chat says hate having computer problems. And I believe that might be Jacob Grant, who was in this race. So. If it is, sorry about that, Jacob. That's unfortunate for yourself, man. Trust me, we know how computer problems can be here at Freaky Fast Broadcast. Sometimes stuff does not want to work with you, and unfortunately, that's our when the cars fail in real life and engines expire. That's kind of our side of issues with iRacing. That's kind of a fail for us. It's kind of like the engine blowing up. So unfortunately, we have computer issues out there at the racetrack.
Push me, please. Well, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, did you just see that? Yeah.
So it'll be 10 in NASCAR Tech Place 2 in August in Louisville, North Carolina. That's awesome, man. That is really cool to hear for Braxton. So congrats to Braxton on that. On really pulling that. That is really cool to hear. So hopefully that goes well for Braxton. And look, I'm telling you, when Braxton goes there, you're going to be able to talk to that dude, and he'll be able to tell you anything about these race cars. So that'll be really, really cool to see.
We're going to hire him up here at the Freaky Cast booth.
Yeah, right. He could definitely tell you about how these things work for sure.
Come and take your job, Zach.
Yeah, right. I definitely don't have a degree in that. I can tell you that much. So I would love to go to school there. That would be a pleasure. So congrats to Braxton on that. So that's really, really cool. But 14 to go here, Robert. Yep. This is our front pack now. Here we got 5 cars with the teammates from Luminary Racing. You also, but you got Matt Dyer up here in the 88. He's that 4th car in line with these teammates. And then you got the 76 of Tyler Tomasi, who is about 2 or 3 car lengths back. You can see him there, but he's still within draft range, and he will be able to should be able to pull right back to this pack here before the end of this race is over.
I think he's got a little bit of damage though, Tyler, there, because he's been hanging out there the whole time. Zach, does he have damage?
He does have a little right front damage. Okay. It's not bad though. It definitely could hurt you here at Daytona. You never want to have crinkle fenders or stuff out of place here at Daytona. The key here at Daytona is, you got to be slick through the air, So anytime you create a jagged edge or a non-smooth line, you're creating drag, and that's what you're seeing from that right front, that 76 here. You can see he's directly behind, but in this package that we have right now with these Cup cars, that is, that's still a decent. It's like within draft range. A couple of years ago, you would have lost the draft being that far back.
Yeah.
It was frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah, you had to stay right up to that back car, and the back car in line was always in danger of losing that draft. But he should be able to stay there, especially now you're seeing the 34 Robert Kinney there drop down in front of him, and that's going to help him out there. As we look back at the second pack here, is led by it looks like Spencer Hardingson there in the 9, leading this pack. Actually, sorry about that. That's actually Gilberto Javier Gamera in the 94, leading this pack here in the 7th position with Spencer Hardingson behind him. Johnny Jones in that 9th position. Logan Breeke in 10th. Joshua Altus in 11th. And that is this pack here is actually, I believe, let's see. Actually, no, Joshua is actually in the next pack in the 11th position with Braxton DeWeese, Tyler Stooksbury, Robert Sherwood, Tom Bourne, and Matthew Rodriguez. So you got that third pack. 3 different packs here with 11 to go. But I tell you what, these packs are all going to start to get a little racy because they're starting to figure out, this is where we're going to finish, when it comes down to the things. So you want to try to get as best position as you can here.
Yeah, with 11 to go, about 10 to go here as they come across the start-finish line here. These guys up here just been dominating right now. The lonely Ford in the middle of this whole pack, I feel bad for him. He's going to be found on the road dead on the side with these Toyotas that are going to try to eat him up. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matthew.
Matt's doing a great job there in 88. So, I mean, he's in position. I mean, that's the big thing he's got to take from us. He's in position still to have a good finish here. And you never know, these teammates start to go at it. He could possibly put himself in the right spot here with 10 to go. But we'll have to see how that all shakes out. And also, out in the chat, we got High Five Racing. They're saying they can't wait for Braxton to get to North Carolina, home of High Five Racing. Yeah, I love North Carolina too. Born and bred. And also, he said get ready for GoPro, on which I think he means GoPro Motorplex, which is the go-kart or the karting track out there, which is really, really fun. If you've never checked out GoPro Motorplex in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, very fun to do, I must say. So definitely go check that out if you want to go race some really cool go-karts.
Yeah, that's down in the neck of your woods there, sir.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I see a little smoke in front of the leaders. I think it's all good. Too? But
oh, no, Kenny. Kenny's blinking out. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, we got some tire smoke.
Kenny's got tire rub, even though it's literally not in iRacing, but maybe there's tire rub there going.
Well, maybe when you blink, that's a tire rub. That's what it is the smoke from. We never know.
Sounds good for the fans.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to say blink.
But I think he's good now. It definitely did like he jumped around there for a second, but I think we're good to go now. You'll see Bronson Stafford dropping to the back here, and you got Matt Dyer going to take that lead over here as they'll be coming by this time. 8 to go here in the Daytona 500K. Here for the Adrenaline iRacing League in their Cup Series to start off the season. Who's going to be able to lock themselves in the playoffs here? As remember, you got to still complete 9 races and have a top 20 position in points. So it's just because you win here tonight doesn't mean you can go sit at home the rest of the year. You got to go out there and get the requirements filled out also.
I like the leagues that had them kind of rulings because as we know, you get new drivers that come in that dominate and they're really fast. They win a race and boom, they're automatically into the playoffs, and then they don't show up for 4 races. So I like leagues that do that kind of ruling stuff that we're seeing here with these guys. Just because you win, like you said, Zach, you still got to work it. You still got to show up. You still got to race, and you got to be in the top 20. Now we're packing 36 cars here tonight. Probably going to have another 36 or so cars next week. So top 20 is not guaranteed at all.
Oh, no. You got to definitely show up to get those points. That's the big thing, We've seen it in the real life Cup Series. I mean, you got to just because you win doesn't mean you're locked in. You got to still meet your own requirements, and I like the way that the Adrenaline iRacing League has brought that into effect here. So it's very fun to watch right now. Matt Dyer still leading. It'll be coming to 6 to go. He's got Austin Greatorex right there behind him, Shane Therian, Bronson Stafford, and Robert Kinney there in the 34 with Tyler Tomasi in 6. I think these 4 teammates, they're definitely going to be trying to set up something here to possibly get this run. But now you got Logan Breeke leading the second pack now. He's up to the 7th position directly ahead of Gilberto.
Yeah, he moved himself up 14 positions so far. So we'll see how this all plays out as we got 5 to go. Nope, it's going to be 6 to go. I do apologize. 6 to go. So, like you said, Zach, 500K opening up with the Adrenaline iRacing League. It's been one well of a show, and I can't wait to see what this ending's going to look like here with these guys. And I do hope everybody out there enjoyed the show here tonight. And pass on the word. We do much appreciate it. But as of that, we only have, if we go back here, we only have 16 cars on the lead lap here.
Yeah.
Out of 36 vehicles. So basically a little bit over, a little under half the field still on the lead lap. Not bad. Not bad for an opening race.
That it is not very bad at all. Oh, big moment up front. I got to say, my heart dropped. The 38 of Shane Therian jumped outside. Tyler Tomasi said, hello, I'm coming to the front here. Is there becoming a 4 to go this time up front here? Big run from Shane Therian in that 38. He takes the lead with 4 to go. You got Tyler Tomasi now in that 76. He is awoken in that car and said it's time to go because he's right here with the pack. And now you have Shane Therian leading away with Matt Dyer there in the 2nd position. Austin Greatorex in the 3rd position. Back to Bronson Stafford and Robert Kinney. Here goes Tyler Tomasi dropping back. Doesn't have the help, so it looks like he'll drop back to his 6th position.
Yeah, unfortunately, he gave it an effort to go, and he's going to fall back here to 6th position. And, calm back down, rewind it back up, and give it a shot again here. Oh, my God.
We got a caution.
Oh, does that change everything? And I don't even know. All that is from Tanner Johnson has brought out the yellow or is involved in the yellow. As we will go back, ladies and gentlemen, and let's see what happened to Mr. Johnson here. As, looks like he got caught up with the 7, and you can see him just spinning around. And then he went off track. I don't know if we can go back any farther.
Yeah, that's, looking at that there, Robert, you had the 63 of Alex Walter there coming off of pit road exit. And it got kind of hairy there between him and the 23 of Tanner Johnson. And then from that, you had the 7 of Jared Matthew there on the outside of that 23 of Tanner. And I think when he went to kind of move up the racetrack to make sure he didn't hit that 63, the 7 was right on his rear end, or right on that right rear quarter panel. And you can see it just sent him around head first into the wall. And that's going to bring out the caution. And I tell you what, now the guys that pitted at lap 30, they're definitely going to have to pit. But the thing is, that was the 3rd pack, so they're not going to lose track position by pitting. So those guys are definitely going to have to pit, get some fuel, in my opinion, just to be safe here.
Yeah, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You might as well come in and top it off. Guys, like you said there, who was that again? Williams? Who was that?
That was really from the 15 car back. So that would have been like the 15 of Braxton Deweese, 6 of Matthew Rodriguez, the 5 of Josh Altice, Tyler Stokesbury, cars like that pitted around lap 94, 95. Yeah, they are hitting pit road. Yeah, they are hitting pit road. So
go in and take tires if you have tires, which we know they have.
I mean, yeah, might as well
take them. It'll give you a little bit more grip. Fill it up with fuel, and go drive the crap out of that thing, and see where you wind up at. I mean, I have a feeling, and I told everybody to grab your popcorns because now I am nervous, Zach. I see these guys that just pitted. They're going to take this thing 3 wide, Why not? And they're going to go for it. I mean, what do you got to lose unless you're that type of driver like me and you're scared that you're going to take somebody else out by accident? And and then you play the apology game because you're sorry that you wrecked them by accident. But you can't sit back and play that kind of game. You got to go for it. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, that is for sure. The big thing here too is, I mean, those guys are riding it back just hoping for this. First of all, that was kind of the plan. I think a lot of these guys was to drop back and stay safe, and then it kind of got to where it green flag cycles and you're just way out of position at that point. You're just kind of riding the rest of the race. And I like what Chris says. He says Yahtzee out there in the chat. And that's pretty much what the drivers, from really that sixth position on back, they didn't have a shot at this race win. They definitely do now. A lot of things can happen on a green white checkered. I've seen some crazy things. I don't know. The pace car lights are going to go out this time. We're going to go back green flag racing. We're going to have 2 laps to settle all this. And we're going to see who comes out of here a winner, because I tell you what, we have the possibility of 3 green white checkers also. And if we have all 3, I think these other guys are going to have to think about taking fuel. So that's the big thing, is if these other guys came and topped off now, they could possibly be sitting in a good position if we see 3 green white checkers.
I'd be clutching it.
Yeah, if you're out there and you have not pitted, you are saving fuel as much as possible here to make sure you have a possibility. You never know. We could have 2, we could have 3, we could have 1. You never know with green white checkers, especially Daytona plate racing. You gotta save that fuel and hope you get this thing to the end. But we'll have to see, Robert. Do we finish on this green white checker, do you think?
And I'll answer that real quick. But not only that, Zach, this is the first season that we called these guys. So we don't know who's good at a mile and a half, who's good at a short track, who can run road courses. We don't know this stuff. So we're basing it off of what we're seeing right now. Some of these drivers in the back might not be good at certain tracks, and this is their chance to win, and they got to go for it because this is their chance. They might not be the, okay driver, but not a winning driver at a mile on a track as we go to Las Vegas, Homestead, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing. Now, to answer your question real quick, Zach, no. I think we're gonna have all 3 green white checkers. That's what I'm seeing, and we'll see as Ford Pace car heads into pit road as green flag is out. Zach, here we go. First attempt at a green white checkered.
Yes, sir. First attempt at a green white checker. You got Shane Therian getting the push there from the teammate of Bronson Stafford there on the outside, the 61. You also have the 13 up top. You got the 76 working with 88 of Matt Dyer down below with Robert Kinney. This is going to be interesting here with 2 to go at Daytona as they come out of 2. You can see the 15 back there of Braxton DeWeese. He's starting to make a move back here in this 15 up to that 3rd lane. It's just 3 wide from 4 cars back. We'll see how it all shakes out as they go through 3 and 4, 3 by 3. From there on back, what racing we have now, as it looks like the 38 still leading the way with this field. Bunching up behind them. They'll be coming this time to the white flag. White flag's in the air. One last time here for the Adrenaline iRacing League around the Daytona International Speedway. They are wrecking back there. Johnny Jones, but the green flag will stay as they are piling up back here.
Man,
multiple cars involved. The 15 of Braxton DeWeese involved. The pole setter. But I tell you what, this race ain't over. Right now, Shane Therian is still leading the way. Got the 61 of Bronson Stafford here directly behind with a huge push to his back bumper. Looks like Matt Dyer on that outside lane getting a little bit of help from the 76. Austin Greyrix gets left out 3 wide as they go down the back straightaway here. The 38 Shane Therian is still leading the way. Bronson Stafford directly behind him. Matt Dyer on that outside lane. When does Bronson make the move here? Coming off a full teammates.
No.
Matt Dyer is going to take the lead here, coming to the checker flag in the air. Matt Dyer is your winner.
Wow.
With, I believe, Thomas Tomasi in the 2nd position. Joshua Altus in 3rd. And I tell you what, Joshua is in that 3rd pack. He worked his way up to 3rd. Wow, what a finish there. The 38 of Shane Therian and the 61 of Bronson Stafford there involved in that. 2 teammates there coming down to the end. I can tell you what, I've been in that same position before, trying to push your teammate to a win and accidentally got too much. But congrats to Matt Dyer, your race winner here tonight, the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series, and a first-time winner here at the Daytona 500K at the Adrenaline iRacing Series.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at the fireworks going off. Beautiful sights and sounds here. I'm sure that guy is just ecstatic right now, Zach. Ecstatic. Congratulations. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to the whole field. Told you not to go nowhere. As, man, what an ending. What an ending. Is he out of gas?
Very possible. He's good. I think he's
Oh, it sounded like he was out of gas.
And congrats to Matt Dyer there, pulling off the victory here tonight in that 88. Started second, made it home one position better to that first position. Congrats to him as he's going to burn it down here at the Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, and bring home that victory for Kim Motorsports here tonight in that number 88. So congrats to him on pulling off the victory. We'll be back in one moment as we find these drivers and get our top 3 interviews in here. All right, we are back here at the Daytona International Speedway. So we got our top 3 finisher here tonight. Man, I tell you what, what a race. Only 2 yellows tonight at the Daytona International Speedway. But I tell you what, it was one heck of a finish there with Matt Dyer pulling off that victory here tonight. But we got our top 3 finishers, as I said. We got the 5 of Joshua Altus up here. And we'll get a chat in here with him and see what his thoughts are on his finish here tonight in that 5 machine. Hey, Joshua, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy? Um, hey, Joshua, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Hey, you got me?
Yeah, I got you now, Josh. Oh,
There we go.
congrats, man, on the 3rd place finish here tonight. I tell you what, I'm sure there with about 10 to go, you did not think you'd be in the 3rd place position at the end of this thing. Because I tell you what, you were in that 3rd pack there, about 30 seconds back from the lead. And I tell you what, right there at the end, you came down the pit road and you were able to make your way through all that carnage there as we took the white flag to come home in 3rd, man. How did you get the 3rd in that 5 car?
Yeah, man, it was honestly a pretty dull race for a while there. You know, our plan was to lay back and let these guys wreck, and with not having any fast repairs or anything, number one goal was to take care of the car. So they wrecked around lap 10, took about 10 cars out, and we were in a pretty good spot. And somehow the race just went green for the rest of the time. So I don't think any of us were expecting that. And like you said, fell about 30 some seconds behind. So I was just riding with my teammates with 546 Racing and High Five Racing. And we were hopeful, man. We kept saying, just stick to the plan. Hopefully those guys will wreck at some point, and they did. And we came down, took a splash of fuel, made sure we had enough, and just stayed in it, man. The highest side is the way to go here. That's where all the momentum builds up. So you kind of use the bottom to hold your position, and you move up to pass. So I was just shoving guys. I was going 3 wide wherever I could, and somehow ended up P3.
Hey, man, that's an awesome way to explain it. That was crazy seeing. We kind of expected that. A few guys to decide to stay out of trouble, drop back, get with their teammates and kind of survive. But like you said, it stayed in that green flag sequence, and it just seemed like the field got separated and we maybe wouldn't catch that caution. So luckily for yourself, you did. You're able to put yourself in position to drive back up there to third after all that carnage was going there, man. But congrats on that. Great finish here tonight to start off the season for yourself. But now we head off to Auto Club next week, completely different way of racing, but still draft involved, but Auto Club Speedway, a lot different than the Daytona International Speedway. So, what's your expectations going into next week at Auto Club?
Yeah, that's a great question. Auto Club obviously is a completely different beast from the super speedways. So I personally really enjoy those bid trats. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll have a team debrief with 546 Racing, High Five Racing. Really looking forward to working with those guys this year. They invited me over to this league. Normally I'm a regular over in the S&B Cup Series, so it's fun to come over here and try something new out. So I'm sure we'll work together, during the week and get some notes ready for that. But yeah, that should be a fun race. It'll be a completely different animal. Probably tire conservation is going to come into that, and just trying to get in clean air.
Yeah, it'll be definitely a different animal, that's for sure. Josh, man, great race here tonight for yourself. And, one of the things we're new up here in the broadcast booth with you guys here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series also. So one of the big things I'm getting used to is last names. I just want to make sure I'm saying your last name right. So if you could, how do you exactly pronounce your last name, Josh?
Yep, it's a common mistake. My last name is Altus.
Altus. Okay, Tim 4. All right, great.
And real quick,
Yeah.
I just want to thank some of my sponsors here. First,
Yeah.
I want to thank 546 Racing and High Five Racing for having me over. Chris Smith kind of put this together. So really look with these guys, like I said. Thanks to Vortex Optics and King Grant Paints for being on board, as well as Christian Gardner, Appalachian Hauler Hunters, who works with us at S&B. So great points night to start the season here, and looking forward to run with you guys this year.
Awesome, Joshua. Well, man, congrats on third here tonight, and we will catch you next week at Auto Club, buddy.
Awesome. Thanks, Zach.
Yep. All right. That was Joshua there in the 5 machine pulling off a third place finish here tonight. So congrats to him. Now we'll move on to Tyler Tomasi, your second place finisher in the 76, as he was in that top 6 pack and still was able to bring him a top 3 after that late caution. So let's see where his thoughts are on pulling off the victory. Hey, Tyler, Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Tyler, man. Well, a great finish for yourself tonight, man. In that 76, bringing home that second position. We had an interesting race tonight. We had the big one there at the beginning, or I guess you could say semi-big one to start off this race about around lap 10. And then from there, we went to a green flag, sequence pretty much all the way down to that very end until we got another caution there to end this race. You were in that top 6 pack there. We seen you make a move there coming to the end before we got that caution to try to get some track position there on those teammates. But unfortunately, it didn't play out for you there, But coming down to that green, white checkered, what was your thoughts going into that? How did you actually get to second? And, just let us know how the race played out for you overall, man.
So when on that green, white checkered, everybody was kind of chopping and stuff. Somebody from the inside kind of jumped up in front of me and ruined my momentum. And then we were pushing, and then it just seemed like whoever was in front of me just wasn't pushing the guy in front of me enough. So on the last lap, I just decided to take him 3 wide and push the 88. And I knew they were gonna wreck each other on the bottom. Just didn't think we were gonna make it through like that. And then they wrecked on the bottom, and then I looked underneath the 88, and then when he came down, I was saying to myself, I'm gonna keep my foot in it, but we hit in just the right spot where it hit my tire, so it didn't hook him. So then we ended up getting second.
Well, man, I tell you what, second sometimes you'll take care of Daytona, but like you said, so close to coming home with that there between you and the 88, but you were luckily able to get to that wreck there at the end to put yourself in that position. So congrats on second here tonight, Tyler. That was a great way to start the season. We head to Auto Club next week. What's your thoughts on Auto Club?
Well, you're gonna find out real quickly that at mile and a half, you won't hear my name at all because I won't be up front because I suck at them. And then when we go to short tracks, I'll lead about half the race. So, just trying to. Do you remember? Do you know what our first short track race is? When it is? Isn't it like Phoenix or
It
something?
is New Hampshire is the third race. So 2 weeks.
All right. 2 weeks, then I'll be talking to you guys again, hopefully.
Hey, that's awesome to hear. That's something Robert brought up in the booth here earlier. we're just learning right now the pecking order with all this. We don't know who's the mile and a half guy, who's the short track guy, who's the restrictor plate people. So we're learning here too. So that's great information from yourself, Tyler. That's something we definitely will keep in our notes for coming up to some short tracks, man. So hopefully we can see you perform well there. Also, and maybe you never know, the mile and a half might come around for yourself in this season. So hopefully I can. But man, second place here tonight. Anybody want to send a shout to before we let you go and get prepared for next week Auto Club?
Yeah, all my real life sponsors, Tomasi Law Associates, RLS Performance, and Caddick Title Company, and everybody who's watching. And yeah, looking forward to this season.
Awesome stuff, Tyler, man. Congrats on second here tonight, and we will catch you next week, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, that was Tyler Tomasi in that second place position here tonight in the 76. But now we'll move on to our race winner here at the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. Man, what a victory it was for Matt Dyer to pull off. But let's see what Matt Dyer has to say in this 88 machine. Hey, Matt, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Matt, great job pulling off the victory tonight, man. In that 88, you looked great all night, starting in that second position. Made up that one spot that you needed to get the victory here tonight to lock yourself in to the playoffs here at the end of the season if you can get that 9 races complete and top 20 in points, man. So congrats on that, first of all. But, I got to ask you before we get into all the details of the race, you're racing kind of 4 teammates there down at the very end, and we did get a caution there to kind of shake things up a little bit. But, what was the plan going into that when you kind of knew you're racing 4 guys that were trying to help each other?
I wasn't too worried. I was like kind of there at the end before the last caution. I knew I wasn't going to beat them. I've raced with them for so long. I knew that they were going to try to help each other and not me. But when it came down to that last lap, I saw Austin try to go 3 wide and try to force me, and then Tomasi went behind him and dropped down to the middle to give me a shot. And I knew it was going to be close, but when the 2 at the bottom got together, and then it was just Tomasi and I fighting there at the end. It was like he kind of got into my left rear a little bit, but thankfully it didn't turn us, and I was able to get the win.
Yeah, definitely. That could have been close there, but like you said, going against those teammates was going to be tough, but you were luckily able to pull it off as they ended up wrecking coming off 4 there, man. So congrats on the victory here tonight. Now you lock yourself into the playoffs here. Like I said, if you can complete the 9 races in the top 20 points, how big a relief is that?
It's a pretty good relief, considering last year I had some internet problems beginning of the year to hinder me from almost making it into the playoffs. So definitely getting that possibly having a shot at the championship, everything. If everything lines up, it's definitely a huge relief.
It definitely is, man. So congrats on that here tonight. Now next week we head off to Auto Club. Do you think you can pull off anything there, Auto Club, next week?
I think definitely a top 10 is for sure. I feel pretty good about the track. I would love it if I can just get a top 5. So that's definitely what I'm going to be shooting for.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats on the victory here tonight, man. Tell you what, that was a great race to watch. You pulled off an epic victory here on Freaky Fast, our first one with the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series to start off our season. So, man, congrats on that. But anybody want to send a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, just a huge shout out, to you guys for broadcasting. To Tanner and the admin team for putting this on, each week, for have it, the third, season, it's pretty good, and to see how many people we have. Huge shout out, to Tomasi for giving me that last shove, down the backstretch, to put us in a spot where we can go 1-2. Shout out to Raised Energy and Rev Sports. I'm a an ambassador for them. So if you use code BALD15 at revsports.com, you get 15% off. So definitely huge shout out to them too.
Well, buddy, congrats on the victory here tonight, Matt. And we will catch you next week, Auto Club, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Matt Dyer, your race victor here tonight, the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series, pulling off an awesome way to start off the season, man. That's a great job by him. But now we'll go ahead and pull up our race results here and let you know where your favorite drivers ended up here tonight in the Daytona 500K from the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. Here's our race results. As you can see, Matt Dyer there pulling off the victory ahead of Tyler Tomasi in the 76 machine. Third is going to go to Joshua Altus. In fourth, we're going to go to Tom Bourne in that 54 machine. Fifth is Austin Greatorex. Sixth is going to go to Logan Breeke. Seventh is Matthew Rodriguez. Eighth will be Robert Kinney. Ninth is Tyler Stooksbury. 10th position, rounding out your top 10 will be Bronson Stafford. 11th is going to go to Shane Theory and leading coming off of turn 4 there. 12th is going to be Spencer Hardingson. 13th is going to be Gilberto Javier Gomera. 14th, there's Robert Shearwood. 15th is going to go to Johnny Jones, your pole setter. 16th is going to be Braxton DeWeese. 17th, Caleb Smith. 18th, Matt Hummel. 19th, Keenan Massey. And 20th is Trenton Jump. 21st is going to go to Alex Walter. 22nd, Cody Eldred. 23rd is going to go to Tanner Johnson. 24th is going to be Joshua Chadwick Williams. 25th is going to be Ryan Huff. 26th, Lee Gray. 27th, Jared Matthew. 28th is Josh Coley. 29th, Eric Stamp. 30th, Brockton Packard. 31st is Justin Dittrich. 32nd, Jacob Hope. 33rd, Jacob T. Grant. 34th, Austin Jordan. 35th, Evan Coleman. And rounding out your field is Kenyon Washington in 36th position. And that is your race results tonight here from the Adrenaline iRacing Cup Series. What a start to the season it's been. It's been a pleasure to call. And Robert, man, what are your thoughts after that amazing race here to start off the season for us?
Man, oh man. Lost for words. We seen action-packed racing all night from these guys. Storm tried to brew and then it died out, and we seen a lot of pack racing. We had 3 different packs out there all night, Zach. We had a couple different things happen down pit road, but it came down to the ending of the race where everybody was pushing and banging for the victory. And unfortunately, the only one that's going to come out of this one is going to be Matthew, as he's going to come out with the race win. So overall, man, what a race. I'm lost for words. And when I'm speechless, everybody, that's something to say, because it's hard to make Robert Moyer speechless in a booth. Trust me, you'll learn me as I go through the season. I can talk your ear off about different things. But overall, man, I want to say, before I hand this over to Zach, and then before I close out everything for the last time, I want to say thank you to all the fans out there that tune in here with the Adrenaline iRacing League over on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget, let's see if next week we can go to Auto Club and get those numbers up on YouTube and Facebook, get more exposure to the league, as we'll do our best part here at Freaky Fast to get the name out there and get more exposure and get more fans to come in and watch these guys race. Awesome talent from first place to last place. But that's all I have to say, Zach. I'm not sure if you got anything else that you want to add, as we're basically done with Daytona here at Freaky Fast for a while, after about almost a month of Daytona here at Freaky Fast. Now, before I hand it to you, though, I do want to correct something out there, fans, that everybody that's still tuning in. Our next road course, Zach, is going to be Spa in the Cup cars. So
he said short tracks, though.
Well, that's a road course, I guess, right? I don't know. I'm just reading off what chat says.
Oh, I mean, I'm just looking at the Cup Series schedule right in front of me, and New Hampshire's the 3rd week. So, unless something's wrong there, but
he
then
did
Spa
say
is the week after.
No,
so.
He did say short track, and Spa is a road course compared to short track. That's a whole different ballpark. So,
I mean, those are comparable. Short tracks do help. Road courses, but that's a whole different discussion. So
and make sure you tune into that, as they're going to bring these Monster Energy cars, or whatever we're calling them this year here at NASCAR, to Spa. I've never called. Never.
That one's circled on my list of the races coming up. So I'm definitely got a heart for that, because I love road course racing, especially with stock cars, and that's gonna be special.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's just going to be a blast. But yeah, I just can't wait for the rest of the season to kick off. Like you said, Daytona, we've been here for a while now. We've been doing a lot of Daytona races. I love Daytona, don't get me wrong, but you can only get so much of Daytona. And I think tonight was a great way to close out Daytona for us this season and go on to the next couple tracks, because we're going to get into the nitty gritty of this season, and it's just going to get so fun to watch as it all plays out.
That is correct. So if you're new here to Freaky Fast and you just subscribed or followed and liked us over on Facebook. Our upcoming schedule you can find on Freaky Fast Broadcasting's website. As we got some action-packed racing going on Monday night. We got some on Tuesday night. We got some on Wednesday night. And then we're off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we are back for a doubleheader on Sunday and to finish off Sunday night here with Adrenaline iRacing League. But all right, well, we're going to pack our stuff up here, Zach, and we're going to get ready to head to Richmond for tomorrow night, 7:50 we go live. But until then, if we don't see you through the week, be safe, everybody out there. Enjoy the snow with your kids out there, or if you've got a snowblower, enjoy it more because I don't got one. But until then, we will catch everybody next Sunday. God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.